We're live.
So Jackie survived and came back for a second day. That's
Yeah, I was pretty, when I got home.
if it makes you feel any better, I was too. And it was,
His gyroscope was.
Yeah, a little way off.
uh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that today is going to be any less
Any better?
intense, but
Are you gonna commute, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I ride with a couple other from up that way, Trade Wire and, you know.
So he has a chance to tell them guys how they ought to act.
Oh yeah, I did all the way down today. Hopefully I'll get a ride
And
home.
as I told them this morning, you have three full-time farmers and a logger in the building now, you're all outnumbered.
all right. We had testimony yesterday from the wood products manufacturing language that LURB had helped us craft to deal with their recommendation. And we don't have to make any decisions this morning, but I wanted to just take a few minutes, and we've got about 10 minutes just to hear any comments. that Representative
My
Woodson-
comment, Chair, is I used my bully pulpit moment about 59 minutes ago in the Little Caucus. To clarify that it seemed like the Ag and Forestry Committee, FPR, the FPA and PLC all were on a same page with regard to support of what the version was. In the room was one of the LURB board members, and I met with her, said, you know, we're maybe 90% there, but we have a couple of questions. So my request would be, and I said, well, you know, if there are issues, we'd love to talk about it, you know, to our committee. And I think Councillor Dingleby may reach out in a day or two. And but I have noticed that the Environment Committee is going to look at this. So I would like them to at least be looking at the language that we did agree with, not with a lot of red lines. And, you know, if we could,
Yeah,
we haven't voted it out of our committee, but at least where we seem to be, we did straw poll it, I believe. 701 yesterday, is that correct?
no, that was
That was something.
The budget.
No, that was the
yes.
committee letter.
Yeah.
The budget letter. Okay, so we've
Yeah.
taken note.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, I think we haven't really had a chance to have come together and say.
Final.
And that's what the purpose of this discussion is, but I don't think that, leaving that technicality aside, and I don't think that you said anything that was, you know, off base, substance wise. But I would like to hear from other folks and see if they have other reactions, so. And yeah, the LURB, glad to hear they were there and heard that conversation, and they're meeting on Thursday, I understand. The board is, the LURB, and we'll review the language then. Yeah, the Environment Committee needs to be looped in, and I sent them everything that we have just so they knew what we were looking at this point, and said we would be meeting this morning. We have more information after our conversation before those reactions too. Yeah. So anything stand out for anybody just in terms of those two drafts? Yeah, Richard.
In principle, I like everything we've done and I'm not the great expert in this world. And, you know, I like the effort and the work you've done with it, Chair, and taken a lot of, you know, what Jed had for input and our witnesses. The one thing I wonder about, to me, and I understand a sawmill, is one thing, because the bigger in nature. But in tier 3, firewood manufacturing businesses, I don't know where they would fall, if they'd have to go through Act 250 or not. And I don't know if it was like that before Act 181. And the only thing I can say is someone that manufactures firewood, sets up to buy logs and cut them to size and split them and bring them to people to heat their homes with, should be out in tier 3 or tier 2. It shouldn't be in an industrial park where they can't even afford to buy the land. It should be out in rural settings, so they can run their saws and whatnot and not bother people. And, they may even own it may be a Stony Brook thing. I don't know. That's my big concern.
Yeah, if we've got the bill here, but so I believe that firewood manufacturers, producers are considered wood products manufactured for the purpose of this, so they would be considered, they'd be treated like sawmill wood essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
That,
And has it been like
Firewood
that?
processor, you said?
Yeah,
And has it been like that, Jed, forever and ever, amen?
2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we tried to have an exemption, and it was for 181 for small sawmills, firewood processors, and chip and mulch yards under certain volumes. And that didn't go anywhere. I think that I own a wood processor. It's part of my business. It's at the farm where our shop is. So I have friendly neighbors. I believe municipalities can regulate the hours of operation.
this bill really isn't changing anything to do with that, yeah. And it just pulled up the language that is, but one thing the bill is doing is saying that the log yards are not
Collection areas.
wood product
Right.
manufacturers, so they have, we don't want to
Those are temporary.
impose extra restrictions on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wood products are subject to Act 250 permitting.
We did one last year up in Fletcher, we did a sawmill out there,
Right.
that was expanding.
That was in this committee, that,
Yeah, well,
what's that called?
that LSF lab and stuff.
Oh, Tucker, yeah, that's, I
Where's
I
that
know,
in?
it's Tucker, yeah. And I have a good friend in Royalton, that just built a new saw. He knows Angels are good friends of them. They just built a new one. They used to call me and complain about the Act 250 process. It was quite a shock. It's just,
You brought it up yesterday, David, that what if it's piece of land's 90% farm, 10% forest? And this were, devoted to logging and forestry. You could make the argument, well, it's actually devoted to agriculture. Or what if it's open land that's just not enrolled in current use?
Either fish or
It's
fowl.
not, is it devoted to logging and forestry at that point, and you decide to put sawmill on one part of that? It's got 10 acres of forest and 90 acres of field. Obviously, you probably want to get road current use first before you went through this process, but I'm just wondering, why not? This is a legitimate question I want answered. Is why can't we just say when development is proposed to occur on a parcel or tract of land? Only those portions of the parcel or the tract support the development or mitigation areas necessary for the development comply to 10 PSA 6086.
So, yeah, I think that's a good question for.
Does it matter what's happening on the rest of the
Good
land?
question. Yeah, why is it, why does it matter? It doesn't matter and then why?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
And when, I just want an explanation from somebody that says whether it does or not.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then why
Why?
reduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Why put that potential problem in there?
It's
for the
actually
future?
confusing, yeah.
If it's just land. It's gonna, I mean, they can build just should not fall under Act 250 because of activity happening in one corner of it.
Yeah, and so I have to say, this is not my area.
Yeah.
And Jack may have more thoughts on it, but I think there's probably a lot to say about it, and I have no idea what that lot is, but.
I think it needs to be whatever it is before I vote on it. I will.
Okay, good. John?
And I'm still confused about when you have to ask for Stony Brook or when it's, a default to a Stony Brook type appeal. We've heard in farming.
Yeah.
It's a default immediately to it in logging, in operations, it's not, but this might move it there, but I haven't seen the language. Like,
Yeah.
Stony Brook never comes up, so.
I think I don't think.
And then Greg's point that
Yeah.
all the other types of land, right, do they
Why
go
don't we
to?
have- Let's have Ledge Council come in, because they can come in before Friday, the alert can't really, I don't think, come until Friday. But let's ask them that question too. I think I know what the answer is, but I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I don't wanna confuse things. Okay, good,
And then,
I think outside of that, I'm doing the rest of that.
okay,
So.
one more thing that not so much maybe to deal with the language, but of consequences. If you have, our 100-acre example with the 10 acres being developed. What sort of restrictions are on the non-developed part of that? Because it's still, they said it's jurisdictionally still Act 250, the permit covers that whole parcel. And so what does that obligate you to? Once you're in, an Act 250 permitted parcel, as opposed to like our farms, which are not Act 250 permitted. Or a logging operation. I don't know what that means. And if you want to sell it, or if you have succession, all those sort of issues, covered use. How does being sort of have that cloak of Act 250? What does that do to that parcel?
Patricia, I don't know if we have any slots available today. But maybe you could just find the first available slot whenever it is and see if Ellen is available.
Yeah, you can have
Also, yeah.
2 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay.
Downstairs.
All right, and then we've got,
I'm just saying, and someone, you probably have a much better idea of that.
Yeah, the whole parcel is,
Right, when,
usually if the guy owns, or person owns the whole. It's all in the maps and stuff we get. But I've not seen, well, the one up in Fletcher there, Tucker. That was pre-existing, and so was Angels.
Yeah.
That's quite a process to go through, but when Act 250 gets done with it, I don't think a lot of people understand. Comes to us first after county. And we look at it and make our approval, and we don't take that long up where I am. Some other districts are a little more intense for whatever reason. But then they got A&R and water, and all those other agencies they go through. And they all got their 40-odd days. So Act 250 was blamed for being holding everything up when it really. Usually a week, 2 weeks after we reviewed stuff and talked about, we pass it on.
does the permitting though trigger approval from all those other agencies though? It does, so it's somehow connected though.
Yeah. We get it first. So,
The district commission,
yeah,
yeah.
then it goes to everybody else, and then you gotta wait for all them to weigh in, half the time they don't get back within the deadline, so they gotta ask for an extension, and that really eats us off, so. If we always get blamed.
I think with Miller,
Yeah,
that sawmill, right, it was all sorts of water.
oh, yeah.
It was stormwater.
Yeah, and they need engineering scoping. on
Yeah,
that.
and you know, he'd been there for years, so he couldn't figure out what was. But anyway,
All right, so we'll see if we can get Ellen in later in that. With later today. Good morning, Steve. How are you? If you want to, I think we can jump right in, actually.
I apologize, but I just finished PowerPoint 10 minutes ago
Yeah.
and sent it. Did you get it?
Hello, yes.
Oh, okay.
it's
Oh, and sorry, I realized, Steve, that we have you on starting at 10, so,
Yeah, I'm fine, whatever you want to do.
yeah, go ahead, have a seat. It might take us 5 minutes to get.
This is from Anson.
oh,
Thank you, one for you.
Did you get the link from Terry?
I did, but if you have the PowerPoint, I will. I should need it. If you can share
Are you talking
the.
about baby food or rodenticides?
Rodenticides, hopefully,
Okay.
because I don't know anything about, other than having,
I was like
Used a
at
lot of it.
9:50, it says baby food, but,
Switch that.
okay, gotcha.
Now, the written agenda on a Tuesday morning is outdated before it gets.
For the drive.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Steve, Patricia can't, by policy, not her choice, not really my choice, she's not supposed to be directing what happens.
Oh.
If you want to, you don't have to put it up, we can just look on our devices too, if that would be easier.
whatever works for you guys, yeah, I feel like you're gonna have, I apologize for.
Gonna have any discussion time about the municipal regulation, just because that seemed like.
Sure. We can. Maybe we can we can stop zooming here too.